Good evening on the World News Tonight from Babagbagide Imo Television. First, the headlines. Tinubu redefines 8 priority areas administration. Many ministers might lose their jobs by January with Tinubu's performance yardstick, Articles 8. Politicians created terrorism, banditry in Nigeria, Buratai. 26.5 million Nigerians at risk of food insecurity in 2024, FAO. Our abducted corpers were rescued in Katsina, Army. On sports, ex-Barcelona star charges Jose Pesero to work on Super Eagles' weak areas before 2023 AFCON in Ivory Coast next year. I am Moribe Rabila Lawal, the news in detail. Following the 3-day retreat organized for ministers, permanent secretaries, presidential aides, and other high-ranking government officials at the presidential villa in Abuja, President Bola Tinubu has unveiled the core focus areas of his administration to the Nigerian people. In a statement issued via the State House website on Friday by his special advisor on media and publicity, Chief Ajuri Ngelale, President Tinubu outlined the 8-point priority areas of his administration. According to him, his foremost priorities revolve around job creation, educational and health care improvement, poverty reduction, and ensuring opportunities for success for all Nigerians. Speaking at the retreat, Tinubu, however, called on his cabinet members to fully commit to achieving the renewed hope agenda and the expectations of the Nigerian people. Other key areas redefined by the president following the important areas of focus for his administration are as follows: reform the economy to deliver sustained inclusive growth, strengthening national security for peace and prosperity, unlock energy and natural resources for sustainable development, boost agriculture to achieve food security, enhance infrastructure and transportation as enablers of growth, focus on education, health, and social investment as essential pillars of development, accelerate diversification through industrialization, digitalization, creative arts, manufacturing, and innovation, improve governance for effective service delivery. The spokesman of the Atiku Abubakar Presidential Campaign Organization, Daniel Bwala, has hailed President Bola Tinubu's way for measuring the performance of ministers. Recall that the president earlier on Wednesday said the government officials and appointees who cannot assist in ensuring the success of his administration and delivering on the expectations of Nigeria are free to leave. It was gathered that Tinubu made this known at the opening of a 3-day retreat with the theme delivering on a renewed hope agenda organized for ministers, presidential aides, permanent secretaries, and top government officials at the presidential villa in Abuja. He noted at the end of the retreat, a bond of understanding will be signed between the participants and himself, insisting he has given them a free hand to carry out their responsibilities. Meanwhile, Bola, in his reaction to the development via X on Friday, asserted that many ministers might lose their appointment by January if Tinubu follows his criterion for measuring performance, which is based on clearly defined objectives, adding that only 3 ministers will survive the eviction. A former chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, retired, has accused politicians and the political class of being responsible for the insecurity facing the country since 2009. Buratai stated this on Friday while speaking in the second stanza 2023 National Public Service Lecture and the 65th anniversary of the University of Ibadan Alumni Association. He also slammed those who called for his sack over insecurity in the country while he was in office, saying such a call stemmed from personal biases rather than an objective evaluation of his performance. Buratai added that a call for the sack of service chiefs by the 9th National Assembly was to derail the democracy through military. The National Assembly had twice or more passed resolution calling for the sack of the service chiefs. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, then had told the 9th National Assembly to mind their business. If properly interpreted, the call for the 9th National Assembly was to derail the democracy by the military. This should be a lesson for political actors. It was a direct confrontation blaming the service chiefs as if they were the ones who started the insecurity. The insecurity being faced in the country since 2009 was the creation of the political class. With a strong political will, it can be surmounted. Burata advised politicians, public servants, as well as civil servants to live above board by eschewing corruption, which has plugged the country's political sphere for decades. He said misappropriation of public funds, bribery, and embezzlement have become too common, diverting resources away from essential services and leaving citizens disillusioned. The former army chief also advised politicians to be accountable and transparent, stating the lack of accountability has eroded public trust and hindered development in Nigeria. The Food and Agricultural Organization says no fewer than 26.5 million Nigerians in Borno, Sokoto, and Zamfara State, including the FCT, may face food crisis between June and August 2024. The organization country representative Dominic Kuko, represented by Dr. Abubakar Suleiman, assistant FAO representative, program disclosed this at the presentation of October to November round of KEDA Harmonized Food Security and Early Warning Analysis on Friday in Abuja. The CH analysis was conducted in 26 states and the FCT to ascertain the food security situation and make projections for the future. According to him, the current cycle is happening after an unusual lean season with witnessed several shocks, ranging from persistent insecurity situations like insurgency, banditry. It listed other challenges as natural resource-based conflict, higher cost of food and agricultural inputs due to high inflation and severe dry spells in some states immediately after the onset of rains. On its part, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Enes Umakie, said the analysis was conducted and validated by highly skilled professionals of the CH Analysis Task Force over the past 2 weeks. The Permanent Secretary, who was represented by Mrs. Fawzat Lawal, Director of Special Duties, said the result of the cycle of KD harmonized CH analysis was coming at a time when government at all levels was leaving no stone unturned to reinvigorate the nation's economy. Personnel of the Nigeria Army and the Nigeria Police Force have rescued 2 kidnapped members of the National Youth Service Corps in Katsina State. The corps members were said to have been kidnapped by bandits in the Yagoje community, Kankara, local government area of the state, on their way to Edo State. A statement by the Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachuku, on Friday indicated that corps members were currently receiving medical treatment. In joint operation on Thursday, November 2, 2023, the troops of 17th Brigade Nigeria Army, in collaboration with the Nigeria Police Force, have rescued 2 corps members who were kidnapped by bandits in Yagoje community, Kankara local government area of Katsina State. The courageous effort of the security forces led to the extrication and safe return of the abductees. The criminals abducted the corps members while they were transiting from Edo State to Katsina State. The quick response and rescue demonstrated by the joint efforts of the 17th Brigade Nigeria Army and the Nigeria Police Force resulted in a successful rescue of the victims from their captors. Owonikoko John, a 36-year-old unit commander of the Vigilante Group of Nigeria, has been arrested in Ogun State over his alleged involvement in the supply of arms and robberies. The Ogun State Police Command informed that John was the mastermind of several nefarious crimes that took place at Obalende and other areas of the state. It was learned that John was arrested along the Shagamu-Ijebu-Ode-Bini Highway during an operation led by an Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP, Omosonyi Adeniyi, the area commander Ijebu-Ode. Upon his arrest, John was found in possession of a gun, and in his confessional statement, he allegedly fingered an inspector of police, simply identified as Ola, as the supplier of the gun in his possession. It was further learned that it was in a bid to absolve himself of any violations that an inspector of police, known simply as Pastor Ola, whom he claimed had supplied him with a weapon, was indicted. Pastor Ola, who also happened to be a spy police, was fingered as policemen who sold the gun to him. Narrating his side of the story, Pastor Ola said that he indeed sold his pump-action rifle to the suspected armed robber with necessary caution, but begged for mercy. If I had known, I would not have done it this way, he claimed. To the foreign story, heavy fire erupted on Saturday in the center of the Guinea capital, Conakry, and security forces blocked off areas witnessed by AFP. There is gunfire from both automatic and weapons of war in Kalum, the political and administrative heart of the seaside city, a witness from the area said, speaking on condition of anonymity. The city center has been sealed down. We can neither enter nor leave, a shopkeeper added, after also speaking on condition of anonymity. I wanted to go to the port area where I work, but was prevented from leaving Khartoum, where armored vehicles have been deployed. Guinea is among several countries to have seen coups since 2020, along with Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger this time, and Gabon. The head of Guinea's junta colony, Mamadi Doumbouya, came to power in coup in September 2021 after 11 years of civilian rule. Finally, on sports. Nigeria will be among the favorites to challenge for the Continental Trophy when hostilities begin in January in Ivory Coast. Former Barcelona winger Emmanuel Amunike is convinced that there is still work to be done on the Super Eagles before they can be a team to beat at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast next year. Nigeria will be gunning for a fourth African title in Ivory Coast after lifting the title in 1980, 1984, and 2013. Amunike was a member of the national team that conquered the rest of Africa on Tunisia's soil 29 years ago, and the former Sporting Lisbon attacker is convinced that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have the quality to rule the continent again next year. Nigeria will boast the most valuable squad and the best attack at the AFCON, with Nantes striker Victor Osimhen, of Napoli, Bayer Leverkusen forward Victor Boniface, and AC Milan ace Samuel Chukwueze, among others. However, Amunike is concerned that having some of Africa's best players in the squad may not be enough for the Super Eagles to soar to AFCON glory. The former CAF Africa Player of the Year has urged the coaching crew, especially Jose Peseiro, to work on the team's weakness area before the competition begins in Ivory Coast next year. With our sports story, we've come to the end of today's world news. Before we go, some headlines. Tinubu redefines 8 priority areas of his administration. Many ministers might lose their jobs by January with Tinubu's performance yardstick, Articles 8. Politicians created terrorism, banditry in Nigeria, Buratai. 26.5 million Nigerians at risk of food security and insecurity in 2024, FAO. How abducted corps members were rescued in Katsina, Nigeria Army. On sports, ex-Barcelona star charges Jose Peseiro on Super Eagles' weaknesses before the AFCON come next year in Ivory Coast. For updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Bagede Imo Television. Can you subscribe and click on the notification bell? Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo. With Alawi Adebayo, please like and follow the page. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Good evening.